now let's look at how the software estimation, how can we just compare this estimation into a software estimation. Yeah. This route, Bangalore to Chennai, I know the route, I have been always going, right? But still, I know the route, I know exactly the where I should stop and what kind of issues can come in, but my estimation does not go so well, right? In software, let's compare this with the software development. What happens in software development? What are the different kinds of projects that we deal with? It can be like, I can kind of classify this as like four kind of types of projects. One is that I have done this exactly the same in the past, exactly the same. Yeah, I know exactly how can do. Second is, I have done kind of, I know, right? But I'm not. I think I can estimate. I can execute it because I'm kind of somewhat similar to this. I have done it. Yeah? The third is, I have not done this, but I have some data. I have not done this kind of work, but I have some data. The fourth is, I have never done this. Right? I have no idea about it. Yeah? What kind of projects we get normally, or what kind of products we build? Most of the times, it's either the last two options. Right? Either I've not done this before, but I can kind of roughly guess, or I have no idea. Right? How many times did we get into a product development, which we know so well that I have exactly done this in the past? No, it's never the case. It's maybe like 1% of your product development is of that nature. Yeah. So it's all the more important for us to understand the estimates in that kind of situation. Let's talk about a cone of uncertainty. So a cone of uncertainty is where this is where the destination. This is where is like when you release. This is where you release a product. Yeah. Product release. And this is where the start of the project. Yeah? What can happen in our estimation if it is in the start of the project, right, which has to be released by X time? It can actually vary. There is a lot of study done, and they found it can vary from 4 times this side or that side. Estimate can go wrong 4 times if you do a thorough estimation in the beginning of the project. So as we move on, the cone of uncertainty actually comes down. It goes close to same as actual estimate, accurate data. Yeah. So when you start the project, let's say that it's 6 months project we estimate, it can actually go as big as like more than 2 years, or it can be done like in even 2-3 months. It's possible. Yeah? But after few days, few weeks, we know the project well. We got feedback from customer. We know how we are executing, and then we know how much is done, how much is not done. Kind of similar to this drive that I was talking, from Bangalore to Chennai. After a certain distance we have traveled, and we know better. So our estimate is a lot better. So it is important for us not to estimate everything upfront. Maybe have a high level estimate and keep re-estimating again and again. So in our example, it can be like, hey, this is sprint 1, this is sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4, and every sprint and inspect and adapt and see how is our estimate. And then reset the expectation that, hey, if we made a plan that it should be released in 6 months, and we see after a sprint or 2 that it's not going to happen, reset the expectations immediately, re-estimate immediately. Right? So because now, actually the gap that we have is a lot lesser. This portion and this portion is gone. We are actually closer to our actual release. Right? So it's important that we look at the sprint over sprint, how much we are able to deliver. This is called, right, how much we can deliver in sprint over sprint is called velocity. Right? Measure your velocity and see if I can deliver X amount of work in a sprint, I think I can deliver 10x in 10 sprints. But to get there, it takes actually a couple of sprints for us to reach there. So, right, so this cone of uncertainty truly works in a software development, and it's important for us not to really, right, do a very thorough estimate upfront. So it is okay to be roughly right instead of precisely wrong. Yeah. So agile estimation is all about being roughly right instead of precisely wrong, right? And over a period, you get into the precision. Right? Yeah, we know after a couple of sprints, we are a lot more accurate.